Hello and welcome to Peer Chat. This is the program where we challenge young people's points of view by sharing our own. And as always, Peer Chat is here for peer pressure, but the good kind. And we started the year on the good kind of peer pressure note type of thing. We are continuing with that kind of flow. Last week we were talking about the year 2022 and what us as young people expect from it. I had two guests who told us what they expect from the year and also offered some advice on what we can do in order to achieve some of the goals that we set out to achieve. But now we're here and talking about education. We are looking particularly at tertiary education. Timamva kwambiri kuchokera kwanthu osiyana-siyana kuti phindu la maphunziro ndi ili. Iyayi pitani ku school ku secondary kuja makamaka ku primary kuja pitani ku school mukhonze mukafike ku secondary. Secondary khonzani mukafike ku college. College kuja so sizimangathela sokomboyo wapeza kayini diploma ija kuti iyayi kuma degree kana ku masters and everything. It so goes on and on and on and on. And now we're looking at this kuti kodi phindu la maphunziro aku college ndichani lilipo phindulo ndipo ngati lilipo phindulo ndichani ngati kulibe tiona kuti ndena ngati mapangira njezo makugundika ngopapita ku college ndalongolola kwambiri koma sinazipangeso introducing koma. My name is Elita Soko and as always I'm joined by my colleague
Gary Samati.
Let me welcome you.
Thank you.
Back. You've been out for a while. Yes.
Thank you very much.
We are not alone, Lelo. We have two very esteemed guests. We have Shira Malenga, that is right next to Gary. Welcome to the program, Shira.
Thank you so much.
And we have Agim Polula. Welcome.
Thank you.
Lelo ndalongolola kali. Let me just maybe in this story and on the from the rest of you. Why do we go to college? Who wants to start?
I will try to start.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, I feel like it's important to go there because antagamapida like from primary school to go secondary school.
Yeah.
Amakazoda banga upgrade kabena aku tenga sono regina.
Yes.
So tikakazakudi we're going to university or my colleges, we try to gain some other like knowledge in aso. Then makazakudi to banga upgrade.
Yes.
So I feel like it's really important to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear from you, Aki.
Yeah, like Shira said, it's really important. And the umakaubanga gaining knowledge. Sunga sumalegezera bompo kuti chimene waphunzira ku primary suma kazona kuti wachiphunzira ku secondary chimakhala ndi chinthu china. So ukapita umakhala kupita step by step. Yeah. Ndiye kumene kujako lese kuti ufika ku college umakazona kuti kuphunzira zinthu zambiri, zinthu zina zosiyana ndi zimene umaphunzira ku secondary komanso ku primary. Yes.
Okay, Gary, do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. But the most common answer behind the cameras is Antutuma college kukatenga degree. That's what most people say.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I'm just trying to make a point. We do not emphasize on the fact that you're going to get mass skills janjan, which is right. As knowledge. But our goal is the degree. We just want to go get the degree and then go find jobs.
Yeah. To some extent, okay. I think I might agree with all of you, Ababa. Okay. Issue maybe the purpose. Kuibanga dissected in Gadeti. Chomwe ma college anakazikitsidwira. Ndicho kuti anthu ditipite tikapange gain knowledge ina, tikapange gain ma skills ena, and mwina tikapange so specialize because ukuyambira ngati ku primary kuja ku secondary timangophunzira chilichonse in general. Muphunzira masamu kuti mukaphunzira agriculture koma biology, zinthu zambirimbiri zosiyana-siyana. But now ku college kuja it's a way of saying, okay, you have all this knowledge, komano which path do you want to take? Kuti ukatsatire no njira imeneyo. Koma to be nena chilungamo. Pamene nafika panova ukamachoko college. I mean ku secondary.
Yeah.
Generally munthu mangukhala ndi chija chokuti ndipeze notsopano the next paper. Ukundire ndi certificate ija ya MSc yeje. Ndikapezeno china chija chimene chingandithandiza kuti ndikatani ndikapeze ntchito. Which brings me to the question. Did we lose it? As a country, Gaya, as a system? Tiangane like the process imene muntu umapezeka zokuti ukupanga follow ukamaka yamba ku college. Eti? Umakhala ndi chipepala cha makosi amene alipo. Ukatero what you do is umayangana ma subject amene wakhonza ku secondary aja. Ndi kumapanga kuti I think ndi ma subject yangawa ine kumandibwele apa. Is that how we should be doing things?
Well, it's
It's a tricky question. I'm gonna do it.
no, it's actually not. And that's not how it should be.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, okay, like when you look at it from a perspective ya muntu wakuti kwao ndiwochita bwino.
Okay.
Muntu amene can actually has higher chances of actually pursuing their dreams because anthu ambiri timakhala into zosiyana ndi ma dreams osiyana. At the times when we were in Form 2, Form 3, even when we were finishing Form 4, some people, let's say somebody wanted to be a doctor. Komano just because wamaliza school wakoza bina 16 points. Because 16 points wakoza zosiyana in other words, yeah. So abezekano kuti akhala pansi and then look at the form meno magambira munja ndumabanga compare ndi my grades ake. But then there's somebody who got, let's say, 30 points. And this person can afford to find a college outside the country. That person has a higher chance of actually studying what he or she wants. Ataweza college ina agawonja agapanga study medicine, even if they have bad grades. Like, not horrible grades, just not the grades.
You're setting yourself up for argument.
But just not the grades. I mean, antama vitra now ku high school formerly in a college of medicine. My grades are antambila makawudi you have to get let's say less than 12 points. Yeah. Komano just that from the fact that you cannot afford to go outside the country. Or let me give an example, Yalo. I think maybe there won't be an argument there.
Okay.
An example, Yalo, like Komano you need to first get into first find a different program, and once you study for a year, umakapangano apply kuchango. So once you apply kuchango kuja, and then umakani ma chances mwina urenga gabena agusia. So adagusia, if you're a person nobody you don't come from a family that you can tell them good ineyo ndufuna ndivide or even kumale gonkono let's say ku Catholic university because it's more expensive than a public college.
Yes.
So bezega nobody you can't afford. But ubeza china jojita ndokuti you have to find mwinogabanga school. I mean maybe you study something else at a different college as long as you can afford that. So that's the point that I'm trying to make. It shouldn't be like that, going back to your question. But just the fact that college, I mean, our college system also, you also have to consider ndalama. Then you're doing what you don't want to do.
Okay, that's quite interesting. And let me just say, it's quite interesting today that we have journalism students in the house. So let me start with you, Shira.
Yeah.
Did you know, Mino Kamaliza secondary school, I want to do journalism I want to take journalism as a career path?
Okay, my first time in secondary school, my aim was to be a nurse.
Okay.
So my class teacher was like, you don't have to do that because your language speaks good, you can be a journalist. So I was like, wow. So I had to take that as an achievement because it wasn't my thing, but then people saw it in me.
Yes.
So I had to take that. I had to take an action for that.
So I can say this teacher guided you.
Yeah.
Saw what your strength was and said, you know what, go in this direction.
Yes.
So after secondary school, you actually actively pursued wouldn't Wabanga apply as a journalism.
Yes.
That's quite lovely. I love that. And you like it? Did you know?
Yes.
Journalism.
Yeah.
Okay. Zinaenda bwanje kuti ubezekeza kuti you're in school and you're studying. Okay, maybe as far back as when did you know kuti ineyo ndofuna ndikazamaliza school ndizakhale journalist?
Okay. ndifotokoze chonchi ngati ndili ku secondary
Yeah.
chimene chinachika nchona kuti kumakhala ma short stories like tikamalemba maisomo chakmakhazi nothene amapereka makoti tizilemba ma short story chanjani
Yes. I remember that.
yeah ndito pezona kuti no ine ndimazona kuti moni makhozera zimandisangalasa ndi ndikaona momwe anthuso amalembera nkhani kuti alemba newspaper chani zimadwanga encourage and then I started kuti I think I should be a journalist. Yes. And ndikafotokozera anzanga chanchani ambezona kuti yakundizo zota iweyo ukhozokhaza kuti ukhozomalemba nkhani kumapitisa ma TV station mucha bezona kuti akutani akupangaso anthu aja encourage nkhani yako bezona kuti ikutani ikupangidwa published de zimene zichazo zimabezona kuti zondipanga encourage nakuti I think I should take this one. Yes.
That is lovely. I love this. I'm meeting people who actually are pursuing the something they set out to do.
Yeah.
Should I ask you, Gary?
I was about to ask you first.
Me, I was one clueless being. Matoga.
Yeah.
Ndinali munthu wongoti bwana ndili ku skulu ndakhala mklasi ndalemba exercise ndakhonza ndalemba mayeso ndakhonza that type of thing but moving with the motions. But I think let's give something to our teachers. I think our teachers ndanthofunikira because kupatula kungokhala mklasi ndi mwana uja ndikumamuphunzitsa kuti yeye amalemba chonchi b amalemba chonchi and you know 1 2 3 ndi chonchi they also help to shape us kuti anthu fe tilowere mbali and all that because I'll also owe it nanenso to my teachers, like an English teacher nani who never really mentioned journalism per se because of nkhani zokhazo zomalemba ma short story you know.
Yes.
Just I'm vezela kupanga steer in this way without actually saying anything. Koma no baso vezela kukankhizira be kumbali imene yoyo. Vezela walemba mayeso aja. And then finally I don't even know how to explain it. But here I am.
That's great.
Yeah. It's really interesting.
And then Gary.
Oh.
Everybody's sharing.
Well, for me, it wasn't really what I wanted. I mean, like when I was in secondary, I've always loved media. I've always loved how it's like they know everything. They get all this attention. Like somebody sits down and watches people on TV. Yeah. So I've always loved that.
Yeah.
And there was a time I remember I was telling a friend of mine, I think I was in Form 3 or Form 4, I was telling a friend of mine, you know what, just that most people, we want to be lawyers, we want to be doctors, we want to be engineers, so I can't make it a dream because I think journalism is interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, I actually thought
wow.
that. Yeah, but then what I wanted to be was a lawyer. So actually when I was applying for journalism, you have to apply for something before you. I think if it was set out good, you can apply for law directly. I could have applied for law.
Yeah.
But then journalism didn't I just because I should study something. And it was actually that time they were giving you three options.
3 choices.
Yeah, 3 choices. So it was actually my third choice. The first one's Analagu and Analagu Chango.
Chancellor College.
Yeah. So, and the first ones were, I think, arts and humanities and no, there was social science and and arts and humanities. But then I kept wondering, what am I going to be? If I study arts and humanities, what am I going to be? It's like, like one of those, I mean, it's a nice course, but then it's one of those. Yeah, you're not sure. Those are campus. At least journalism, good, I'm going to be a journalist.
Yes.
That was the main reason why I applied for it.
And I think that is why we need to have this conversation. Whenever you're looking at applying for a course to study it, you're not thinking, what kind of knowledge am I getting out of this?
Yeah.
You're thinking, what job am I going to get
out of this?
Yes.
That's why earlier on I was talking about most of us tigamajeza magwala zomweti mayanka is ndufuna degree because you're thinking about the job. So uganiza kuti fine ndufuna ndiphunzire journalism so that I want to know how to write for newspapers.
Yeah.
I want to know how to write for this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Koma umangokhala nkhani ya ntchito.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, this is quite interesting. If you're watching right now, we will be very interested to know what do you think of a college education? What do you think should be the reason that young people should sit down and say, I want to go to Malawi University of Business and Applied Sciences, or University of Malawi, or Lilongwe University of Agriculture and Natural Resources. Would like to hear from you. Do drop us a text if you're watching us on Facebook, or if you're watching on TV, you can send your message on 1895, or you can get in touch with either me or Gary. That's Gary Samaji or Elita Soko on Facebook or on Twitter, or get in touch with us via our Twitter pages and Facebook page times Peer Chat. Now, going forward, we've talked about if they are personally, each one of us, how they got to be where they are and do what they're doing right now. But now let's look at Bano. We've talked about the system and all that. Let's look at the Pindula tertiary education at the end of the day. You've gotten that degree that you set out to get, not the skills that you're supposed to be getting. Zoti Pendolina out here.
Kunena chilungamo. Chimene timapindula kwambiri ndi paper lalicha.
Okay, how?
Yeah. Fanyana kuti chimene ndaonapo ineyo kuma let's say journalism. I'm doing journalism. Yes. Koma kunditenga kuti ndipite ku TV station.
Yeah.
Kuti ndikapange perform kumene kuchako zolongosoka zimakhala zovuta.
Okay.
Yes. Zimakhala zovuta fanyana kuti kumukhazo kuti sindikuziwa muno mwino kuti ndaphunzira chabwino kamera ku school kucha.
Yes.
Ndipite ku school, ndipite ku TV station ndipasa kamera kuti ndiyambi kuti ndisoya kuti ndiyambira pati. Koma amachita kuna kuti makhanga tiso akundiphunzisa so one. Yes. Makhanga ndikuphunzira so one kuti ngati kuti ku school kuja sindinapiteko. Koma yeti paper ndinalo.
Yeah.
Ndi kwambiri chimene ndikuona ngati kuna kuti champuka chikulu chimene timapezako ndi paper lalicha.
Ndendo tukumalipeza in the right way. If ngati for instance umuntu ukhale ku college zakafundwa. Yes. Ubezeke sokuthi kupita ku industry and somebody should actually have to sit down with you noma kuphunzisa sergeant Fujija.
I was thinking, there is no way someone can work hard in primary school and kupita ku secondary school. Ndio ukatenga so paper lake la lokuti wakhoza form 4 nkupita ku college nkukangotenga paper. There is no way. It means muntu wa ninganeza kuti wawerenga. Wawerenga kuti akhonze. Wawerenga, it means akupita so ku college ndekuti akuyesesanso in every way kuti atenge so paper kuti apite nayo uje. It means kuneneza kuti dedication igwene yakukhalapo. Ndekuti penpo bakamali tenga paper lalo, it means he's going to do something with it.
As in he's getting both the paper and the knowledge.
Yeah. Ndekuti akutenga sources really.
I also feel like the other problem imabwera from, I don't know if it's just the education system, right?
Yeah.
Because as much as you're right, muntu sunga kale 4 years and then not get knowledge. Yeah. Like your example is actually true, because I also went through the same like when I found a job, it was like I'm learning.
Yes.
So napunza kale 4 years, komano now I was learning them practically. Kuranta upunzise. Komano I feel like nkani ina imakayo kuti we study for the exam.
Yes.
Kuti ndilembe maiso ndikakhoze. Like so di makhankani yokuti ukuphunzira so that you can actually kuti like write something chani kuti ukakwanisa. You know, I went through that with my za dissertations. Yeah, there was this other time umafika point inakumena upange izinto za practical zinaza.
Yes.
Yeah, so mukamaziphunzira and then ukamapanga research yako dissertation yako umapanga izinto za practical. So at least that. But the rest of the subjects inenkani ndingokhoza.
Yeah.
So I don't think you actually prioritize your like the knowledge. So I don't know whose fault that is. Is it the education system or is it us?
Maybe let's discuss that.
Kuzikhala nthawi ndithu yobanga practical.
Okay,
yes.
So we're blaming the education system.
Yeah, kuzikhala practical kwambiri. Fanyana kuti zimagani. Okay, like zamanjazi. Achina tailoring chani zimene zijazo ndimona kuti it's better because umakhazulo kupanga zinthu zije ukapita out there umakazi unodu ukakanga ndikwapitiza pamene unayambira unayambira unasiya yes komano kumbali yangati zinthu zina ndi zinazi
zomaphatikiza theory and practical.
yes timapanga kwambiri concentrate kwa theory kuti titani tikhoze in class mujati tenge paper yes that's what I was trying to say.
Do you think so too? Should we blame the system? Sidi Bwino?
I think it has to be blamed.
The system, not the student.
No.
Okay.
What do you
Gary,
think?
okay.
You look like
I think
Okay, yeah.
I think it's not the student because chimema chilinga nchona kuti ku school kuja sidi napange practical ndi kuti pato khaso ifeyo tikupeza kuti tikapeseso school inake let's say ngati sindikuziwa ineyo kamera ndikuena ndikapeseso kwina kwake ndikaphunzire video production yomwe ndikwalipira so ndalama ina kwinaso pomwe ku school ndapeka ndalama ina ndakhala ku kandi 3 years ndikaphunziraso kwina video production ndikapangaso zinthu zina ndikangati ndikuonjezera ndalama pompacha pomwe ku school kuja ndimakangati ndikapangako chinthu chimodzi ndiye mwina pene popo I think
Okay, fine. I agree. Okay, yeah, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
Okay.
I feel like 40% blame 30% blame the student.
Okay.
70 blame the system.
Why?
Because I'll give a practical example. Like if you go school, did I my internship?
Yes.
I was working at MPC for 3 months.
Yeah.
And then after the internships, magabanga presentation ku school, right? So I'm a fusan. What do you think we're doing wrong? So then I was concerned with two things. I told them, first of all, where's to mabanga major? Because I did journalism as well.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, I was wondering if it's possible, would you want to mabanga focus on TV? Could you I want to be a presenter. So most of your effort goes from third year. Uzingobanga what you actually want to do. And the second one, and the most important one, was Kutisama Bangas. They don't teach us into the practical Kwambili. And one of my lecturers told me that you guys are studying for a degree. And he told me, so we believe Kuda and Hamabeba, they should be the ones kukara behind, like kukara office. You won't be the guys on the ground. But you see?
Whoa, okay. That is wrong on so many levels.
Yeah. So, and that was why when I finished school, we didn't know muntu wapeza ntchito. Umakhala kuti ukuyambira so nokuphunzira, because now it's practical. Sinanga zina zijamango caravans. I mean, also like apart from just blaming the system on its own, the resources that we have in the country. Like if in our class we were about 70, 80 people. And timaphunzira amuna magamera atatu. We can't blame the lecturer for that blame goes higher, yeah. Like it's way bigger than that.
Yeah.
So anfatatu ngatukuphunzira kamera imodzi. Siningaziwe kuti kamera imakhala bwanji. Yeah. And I spent 4 years of my time, and now it's when I'm actually learning camera jakuti okay. Yeah. So when I get more that's where the 30% is coming for blaming the student, because now it's always so many knows can't so is in the degree, like as journalists, graphic designing, even if you're doing engineering, even if it's education, how to treat children, how to treat them, because there are some things that you can't learn in class.
Definitely.
Yeah, but that's how.
No, statement the response you got from that lecturer has raised a concern in me.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, could our colleges just, feeding our egos, kumati banga in a way yokuti tiziganiza kuti just because we're out there ifeyo tapita kaya ku college ndokuti ifeyo ntchito zathu ndizo tikangofikira pena pake basi behind a desk, really. Maybe everybody I'm here and I know what is expected of me. Perhaps let me ask you guys again, Shira. When you look at yourself, you're studying journalism, for instance, what do you think you're going to be doing? How do you picture it? Say, for instance, you're a TV presenter.
Yeah.
How do you picture it? What will you be doing?
I think I'll just be sitting on a chair and then be presenting, I think.
Read the news.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, Aggie, what do you think? For starters, do you also want to do something electronic media related? Kabena, do you want to do print?
Zose.
Fantastic. So, for instance, if you're going to do TV, you're a presenter. What's that?
Ndizabanga present zokuza na entertainment.
Okay, ndekuti ufike point yobanga present iyo ndo zakhala kuti wapanga chani.
Ndekuti ndizakhazo kuti
I'm very interested in your answer right now. How do you picture it?
Okay, zinto zimene uzabanga present on TV.
Yes.
Uzaziveza bwanji.
Zizakhala zachokera.
Zakhala zachokera.
Oh, okay. Ndizakhazo zona kuti izinto ndazipanga follow up. Kaya. Yeah, research, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, fine, fair enough. At least you have a realistic view of things. Whereas you, my friend Shira. Because that's the thing. I think Antotika kala college
Yeah.
Tima kala ndika view again
What's
unrealistic.
yeah.
Komano at the time, we think it's realistic.
Yeah.
Eyote? Umaganiza kuti ndipita kunchiro kuja, for instance, let's run away from this journalism thing for 2 minutes, guy. Let's go engineering, you know? Somebody is, say, a civil engineer. They're thinking, degree. So I'm probably going to be looking after people.
Yeah.
You know? You know? That's probably what you're thinking. But let me tell you, it is not what happens. You have to get your feet dirty, guy, for a little bit.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Komano, that's the thing that I think our colleges don't teach us.
I think you're right when you said, could they just feed our ego?
Eh.
They just feed our egos, basi. Could they? Ngadi palinkani ya pride inaga. I mean, that's the same reason why Montogo wapeza certificate, you look down on Montoda in the MSc. Montoda diploma will look down at winner. Montoda degree will look down on winner. Masters PhD Jonjo. I think because of that mentality, like, and I mean, in this way, like, even when I was in college, I mean, I thought that's what presenters do, for example. And, like, even the time that I wanted law, I thought good is just about court, making arguments in court.
You don't know that you have to study.
I don't know that I have to study. I didn't even know that you have to, like, sometimes mutongo gambira na gumbari without kuvita ku court, things like that. So I feel like as my students, as maga my students had my degrees. Maga even, I mean, that's why we always hear this public university, UNIMA versus private universities. And they're better than others. And that's actually what's happening. Because I'm office. In degree. Even if that was true, I mean, let's say in our field, journalism, I think it wasn't fair that studying journalism for the sake of our audience, but I also understand. But then, let's say, Muntu, you assume kuri uwango figure power editor.
Yes.
And how are you going to know kuri Muntu amena libansiba wabula wisa? Because if you finish school and then you start off as a reporter, as a journalist, what those video ugasagankani, ubelesa, ugabanga interviews, chani, ugamaza figure at that level, you're an editor now. You actually know what's...
Because you made all those mistakes,
you know exactly. So it's not 1 + 1.
It really isn't. Komano, this is quite really concerning. Our college education systems and all that. I think it's a little bit. Granted, in there might be a percentage that is true and a true reflection of what actually happens when Pugatani Ugabita out here. But take a look at the example. Yoguti, somebody might actually not even find a job in the area you study, but something else entirely. Did you ever consider that when you're studying? As you're in college right now, do you ever consider that? I'm doing journalism.
Yeah.
You do?
Yes.
So how will you handle that? If that so happens?
I think basi umapezeka nthawi inake basi wango uchivomereza and you
Mmene
start
zilili.
doing what you have to do.
You have to eat.
Because
So at the end of the day,
naona
you end up
kwenye mtino
finding-
wake anapanga
Yeah.
journalism proper, he's a teacher.
Okay.
Yes. De mona kuti anango basa nango chivomereza na kuti I'm a teacher. Though napanga journalism.
Yeah.
Komanso tupena timapezeka zoti tasokonezeka pala anthu ena kamakhaza kuti ndi chinthu choti akufuna kuti azapange but then pala anthu ena akamapanga kuti ningokwanisa that's why anthu ena akuzapeza unazi kuti apanga law koma upezeka zoti apanga chinthu china chake samachifuna koma ngopanga zoti mwina they should praise someone
Yeah.
so imakhala ndina yake.
Really, I think it Indina.
Literally.
Definitely. So now, this is Ibangano Modani Tobano. We're here, Ifeo, fine. You guys are still students, but you look at all these issues. Gary, you and I are now actually, you know, we've left that and we're practicing.
It's a bit late for us.
Yeah. No, it's not
It's not
actually.
too late.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
But so, going forward, what can we change in order to make sure we are realistic? For starters, Pankanyati ana students amena kuphunzira in college actually know. For starters, akamapita to college, what they're getting themselves into, and akamamaliza to know this is what I'm going to face.
Yeah.
How can we remedy this?
I feel like the education system, schools, let me say schools. I feel like schools need to work with the industry, because, I mean, they can just teach them as much as, like, they teach them what they know. So sometimes, as Puzitsena, I'm a Kawatis and Aguirre Wanchiro, my lecturers and I'm a Kawatis and Aguirre Wanchiro. So they're just teaching them what they know. They can't teach them the reality about the industry. So you can call. I mean, there's this what law firm in Agemandoaza Zuma Mavanga, Ritz Attorney.
Yeah.
What they do is, I saw this other time Mavanga. I've just forgotten the words also, but then it was something to do with Ngatitima courts, Kumavidisatima courts in colleges, where students are going to argue about something. So it's actually what's happening.
It's a court.
Yeah, it's a court. So apart from Zimena Upunzira class, they will actually learn how things work.
Yes.
Yeah, so I feel like my schools that Amavanga collaborate with my industries, with my companies, and I journalism. They'll come to times kuzadenga and to vidisa and to kwayambila ali first year. Kumauza, and don't just do it once. Maybe you can have that once per semester. Then basi muzavitisira antosiyana siyana. Even if it's engineering, zomwezo antwa IT, zomwezo kumagauza kuti how does this work? How does that work? I think we could. I mean, we have a long way to go. I think that could be one of the.
You raise a very good point. Industry, what role does it play in the tertiary education system? Because industry, the way I look at it now, it's like this baby, you know, that's just sitting somewhere, thinking, "Kudi amayake adikuti, akatero abweretsa and will feed this baby." I feel like in this almost zimachidika panova, companies are out here sitting, expecting kuti college apanga produce anthu amene iwo at the end of the day azapanga interviews apanga hire, they'll work for them. In the fine, they'll pay them, but at the end of the day, you're paying for services, isn't it?
Yeah.
Our industry is doing enough to, contribute to the development of my professionals. I mean, at the end of the day, ndikudzagwirira ntchito.
Ndikuona ngati ayi sathandiza.
Okay.
Yes. Chimema chili anchona kuti let's say atusa vacancy. Yona kuti afuna anthu agwirire ntchito, right? Ndi walembera. Ama nazona kuti afuna 3 years experience. Munthu kuchokera umene u college. 3 years experience welenga kuti. So mapida so kapanga so kumene kucha so kaphunzira ntchito momwe wanenera kuna kuti kumatha mbwa kumatenga ngati ma student acha mwapita akazikapanga ngati practical azikaona mozi nthu zimakhalira sisira mapanga zimene zichazo akupita akuna kuti tufuna munthu wa 3 years experience zomwe zizo sagwira zomwe sakuthandizaso sitikuthandizana
And yet there are thousands of students amene angopanga graduate chaka chomwechi.
mwaona komano akapita umene kuja kwa akana kuti chani tifuna munthu wa experience kale zomwe zizo sagwiraso.
And at the end of the day, for somebody, could you say, for instance, iweyo ungopita at a company and say, ndili ku school, koma ndikufuna zokuti mundilole kuti ndizibwera seka ya ma weekends ndisisagwira kuntchito awo ndi apo.
Even for free.
Have you ever tried that?
No, I haven't.
But do you think if you did that, you actually get that opportunity? And akulola kuzoti zibwera usisagwira ndi ntchito?
No.
Okay, what gives you that impression?
Because nangamakhaza kuti awuzozoti mwina iwe ngati mene mwina wapita kumene kucho awuzizo kuti ndili pa skulu then ndikufuna ndizingogwira ngati mwina ma weekend they will say adionongera cause sakudziwa kena kalikonse sinankhali pa skulu aphunzirabe nde I don't think angalole.
And maybe so that I don't think I've ever heard of a company that says that good students, you know, you can come through musizapanga mwakuti. So is this something that could actually work? Did it bank implement?
Of course, it gets tricky because malamulo so amanena kuti munthu sabwino kugwira ntchito ya ulere. So mwina so amaopa that. Koma I've tried it before, applying for jobs for an internship.
Yeah.
Of course, you don't say kundofuna ndimalipira ndalama zingati. Koma no, I was ready to work for free. So all atanduzo 20,000 what is ingokubasa transport to and from. Ndiyo kuti munthu khoza kulola at that time because you just want to learn. Koma it gets tricky because now akamayangana malamulo. Komano, it's very important they should get my students and teach them.
Atamapanga ndi choncho zikhozogwira and zikhozothandizaso anyamata ambiri.
Because at the end of the day, iye issue ndikuyiona iyeyo ndinazo kuti 3 years experience here. It's because I think as students we spent this whole 4 years basi static, you know? At the end of the day, tikamazatuluka we have zero experience. Granted, say for journalism students in some colleges like Malawi University of Business and Applied Sciences, 3 months they actually practice for a little bit. So maybe there's that, but 3 months is not 3 years. At the end of the day, it still leaves a lot lacking. So anyway, moving forward, Tagambas Zambia, and I think we've digressed from the topic a little bit, just a tiny little bit. Tagambas Zapindula, a college education. Now, I'm looking now at the pros and cons of a college education. Not pros and cons per se. Komano, I've heard this argument, Kambirimbiri. Yonena Zodi, why waste time? 4 whole years. Kaya, 2 whole years. Ukukalankalasi. Mapunzila zina zake. When you could actually be out here and maybe starting a business somewhere, you know, earning money, you know? It's like, I know there are some groups of people who think of a college education as wasting your time. Maka find degree yabo. A lot of people will say, "Uda akadenge degree, koma masters." People will say, "Why are you wasting your time?"
Education,
So maybe let's discuss that. Koshi, is it necessary to get a college education? Did you hear about degree? Kamino ka all the way to the master's degree and PhD and everything else. Is it necessary? What do you think, Aggie?
Yeah, it's necessary. Because umakadu upanga gaining experience.
Okay.
Yes. And the kumene kuja kufena kutija ukupeza experience ija. And the ganchiro
experience as in the college education you remain you better go by.
Yes.
What do you're in class?
Yes.
Is it right? Okay.
Yeah. Ukupeza knowledge. Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to say that knowledge.
Yeah.
Ukupeza kumene kuja ku knowledge yona kuti zina ndi zina kuziziwa. Wabanga uli ndi degree yako kan masters yako imene kuja.
Yeah.
Koma fena kuti muna ntchito yavuta. You can be able kusegula weka kandi company. Yes. Utopanga olo business olo yaikulu yona kuti izi kubwelesa so weka drama kuzilemba so weka ntchito. Fena kuti wapuzira mukwanira uli ndi knowledge yowaniraso. Yes. Nde paper lija ndiyofunikira. Although our business also ndofunikira, kumaso paper lija ndofunikira. Fake kuti business yende, it needs knowledge. Yes.
Don't you think about sitting in a class for like zaga and zaga day 1, day 2, day 2 zaga kumavida. Somehow imaza panga so brain yako to be tinganena kuti
Tired?
not creative
Oh.
enough. Does that do that?
Of course, but
For
I think
argument's sake, I'm just putting this out there for argument's sake. Maybe let's hear from you also.
To me, I feel like sinanka college life ijema kala gudi ndionazodi is different from secondary school.
Yeah.
So tiese muntu gudi wajoka ku secondary school and then wabida ku college wangokhala class ndikungotenga the degree thing kaya jina jage chija.
Yeah.
So you're going outside. It means kunena zokudi iwe wachoka pa level inage wazika super level inage. So ndi most zokudi or even ukamapita kuti ukalembera ntchito, they will differentiate between the person who has a certificate in secondary school and amenali ni degree. So I think ababa makhala zokudi there's really a difference.
Maybe our aim is makhala yelembera ntchito more as opposed to, actually
skills.
yes, skills and also ability yokapanga survive in life.
Yeah, kind of cheat, because that's how life is set up. Like you can go cheat on Duga. I mean, it can work if you go cheat on already guys number business ndili mwana. School sina bide. I know how businesses work. You have to convince somebody.
Yeah.
Because of the way life is set up, and if you go there with the paper.
Yeah.
Agawumva. It's why you never see, like, you always see a paper on by job description, by vacancy.
Yeah.
You always see, we need somebody with a master's, somebody with a degree, diploma, and it's never business, period. It's never that way. Commercial, sometimes I feel like to just know exactly what you want. I mean, if business is what you want, then do it. That doesn't mean that education is bad.
I'm asking this because I'm looking at some of the most successful people in the world.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe you knew I was also driving at that. I'll always give the example of Mark Zuckerberg. Maybe he's like 1 in a million, but still, he's out there.
Yeah, but then look at the story of Facebook.
Yeah.
And hey, look at all these rich people, Chanchani, Sana Vida school. Yeah, fine. First of all, he went to Harvard. He was at Harvard, and that contributed Kwambili Wudi Ayambe Facebook. Because sometimes the importance of college education isn't just the class part. It's about the college experience, the whole experience. There's this movie, Omima Longosola, how Facebook started.
Yeah.
And it says he got the idea from a college party. There was this party, Anabanga, they were taking pictures of girls. So he created a website, Who is Prettier. But at that time, Kunali Galema website, who is like hot celebrities, something like that. Kudi celebrity owning So, that night, that website, Yaba school inaindima hits ambili. So he was then wondering, why didn't people go to the other website? Like Kwama celebrities, why did they go and have a college? And then he came to the conclusion, according to the movie, he came to the conclusion, the people want to go on the internet to see people, I'm a woman now in real life. That's like one of the inspiration of Facebook.
Oh, as opposed to go to a celebrity.
Yeah, I'm going
to go on Facebook because I want to see how Shira is doing.
Yeah,
What did Shira post?
Exactly. That's where the idea came from. So, I mean, fine, he dropped out of school afterwards because I'm going there. You can't tell me would Harvard didn't contribute to that. Even Bill Gates, he went to college. First of all, he went through not to say the right path, the normal path of most people. Then we're not going to drop out worker. So I really feel like education is important in a lot of issues. Because even, for example, issue primary and to ambit madandor, we learn a lot of things that we're not using now. But the other day, sorry, I'll tell another story.
You're full of stories.
I'm full of stories.
We're happy.
The other day, I was like, recently, even last week, somebody was selling Chimanga at 9,500 kwacha per kg or 9,000 kwacha per kg. So I also knew somebody just as a business thing, I also knew somebody who has Chimangas, Jage Sojodi, he was trying to decide. So I think it was just after we had
Sorry, I'm
published a
stuck on
story.
this. Per kg or per 50 kgs?
Per 50 kgs, sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. Per 50 kgs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was just after also I'd seen Kuti Admak is selling 1 kg at 200 kwacha.
Ah.
So I was trying to decide to differentiate between these two guys. Kuti 9,500 kwacha, was it 9,000 or 10,000 per 50 kgs and 200 kwacha, 205 kwacha per kg. So I wanted to find out Kuti how much is this guy selling, like
Per
how much is
kg.
1 kg.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I remembered, was it primary or secondary? Timabanga, if A is equal to, if X, that's how I solved it. Timabanga is equal to, that case,
Goodness.
exactly. Like at that point, I hope most of our audience knows this example. Like
Yeah.
Timabanga is it primary or secondary?
Secondary, I think.
It's just equal to if X is equal to 200.
Secondary. Secondary.
Yeah.
From 1 from
Secondary,
2, yeah.
That's when they introduced the alphabet in mathematics.
Exactly. So, and that's how I figured it out. That's how I was like, oh, so this guy is selling it at this point. And then I remembered how Timaganiza would like you see these memes, Kuti, they were telling me to find X. Why?
If it takes a
To-
15 minutes to get to B,
Aha.
how long will it take? Oh.
Exactly, that's the same one that I
Maddening.
used. So yes, I mean, school is important for things like that. Like it actually helps you out in like your day-to-day lives. Just that zintu zina sudu mazona directly, zintu zina mazazona later on. So I think we can never underestimate the value of education.
Quite interesting.
Yeah.
I'm latching on to Nkani unakamba mene umakamba about Facebook.
Yeah.
Kuti Mark Zuckerberg actually got his idea from a party.
A party,
Now.
a college party.
Tikamapita ku college anthufe.
Yeah.
Kumakali malangizo.
Eh.
Or tikamapita ku school generally. Iweyo wapitira school. Look at Mark. Mark akanati ine ndapitira school.
Zina zindizikavanga.
Sindikupita nawo ku party. IJ kanapezekapo.
No way.
What does that teach us? Obviously not go to parties. Kumanoje.
Komanda umafunika, okay, mafunika nthani yake yopuma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ndiyo yopuma ija umakhazi kuti kupita nongati kumapate kuja, kumene kuja umakatola kozina ndi zina. So kuti yeah, suti nzola kuika kuba kwambiri.
I think pena pake connection insoro ndi anthu is important, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, nkalasi muja guys, ndimo bored.
Mumadopesa.
Oh goodness. Nklasi akuti yayi ukakhathi suli nklasi ndo zakakhala kuphanda library. I mean really. No, anyway, the point I'm trying to make is the associations that you create in college, the people that you connect with, they are actually people who, mean something in future. Education is not just about 1 + 1, A, B, C, D, I think. I think education is also about, being able to say hello and maybe being able to read, how are they today, or being able to just say, hi, we're wearing the same shoe as each other, that type of thing. Because at the end of the day, you never know that they're the people who might link you maybe to a job opportunity somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gavana, they are the same people who might be able to get you an opportunity maybe for funding for a project you're working on.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Maybe there will be different kinds of parents in future. I don't know.
Come, it's not just that. I mean, look at the fact that, like I'm assuming at your school, kulima courses ambitimbili. By the time, like 10 years from now, you have access to, like in I know for sure, 5 years from now, I'll have access to, maybe even like right now, I know an engineer. I know I know who to go to. I know a quantity surveyor. I know a lawyer. I know an IT guy because of things like that. So sometimes the value of education isn't just current class. I mean, we even learn a lot of things from friendships. Like not just school, which are when you're home, you go play, journey. That's why at primary school we have PE, physical education. Yeah. things like that. I think that's just how it has to be.
Koma sometimes I feel like chomwe so chimadibangisa ngati ifeyo anthu kuti mwina we should not achieve something maka's plight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
We can't run away from that.
True.
Because mwina ngati neyo mwina ndupanga journalism mwina I know someone like I know Elita Soko right now.
Yes.
So mwina ndimangomona kuti he's there in a screen akuoneka pa screen batch. So for me kuti I should reach out to her.
Go forward.
Talking to her kuti, how did you get there?
Yeah.
Zovuda. So it's pretty hard kuti muntu you should learn something from there because he wasn't going ngati kunazo kuti when I finish college ndekuti ndikangupita straight pa ujeni pa mpando. So it's pretty hard.
Quite interesting. So now that we're here, we have established the importance of college and the importance. I think, however, let's just say within the consensus is that college is important, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So regardless of what we're wasting time.
It's important, but there are some things that need to change.
Yes.
It needs to become, the theory, yes, should be there, but it
Yeah.
needs to get more practical.
Okay, maybe let's just take a round of suggestions for making tertiary education more beneficial for Aliency.
Yeah.
Didani.
Kiambie-
Oh, with me?
Mhm.
Okay.
You haven't spoken much.
I haven't spoken much.
Yeah, but then Kantaria,
Okay,
the
I
floor is
think
yours, 5 minutes, 10.
college needs an overhaul, probably. Kuyambira pa nthawi imene munthu akupanga decide kuti akupita ku college. Ndikufika point imene wafika ku college kuja and doing a particular program. And pa nthawi imene akuchoka ku college iyo, there needs to be some changes. For starters, munthu azidziwa kuti kodi if I am going to study this, what sort of skills will I learn? Will I acquire? And how well do they fit with the kind of person that I am? For instance, if I am some person who just wants to sit at home, which I might be, and not go anywhere,
Yeah.
and I am saying ndogabanga journalism, is that really going to work? Because with journalism, you need to be somebody at least or you can connect with people. But if you don't, and naturally you're like that, is it really going to work? Zinthu zoti tizikhala mwina ndikumaganizira,
Yeah.
For instance, if I say I want to be a doctor, but I'm the kind of person who looks at Bala and goes, you know? Ndikakhala lokolala.
Bye.
I don't know if I'm a engineer. Maybe it's just because you sat someday the night before my essay and you solved everything. Are you sure when you start engineering, you won't need a calculator every time? You need to know what sort of, what length of block do I need to use here? It is introducing I think we need to think about that and encourage young people to think about that, to think about their career choices. In the college education is important, but tisangobita college just because people expect us to go to college.
Yeah.
We should go to college because we know what we want to gain from college and we are ready to use whatever it is that we gain from college to better our lives in future. Yeah, okay, I'll leave it there.
Perfect.
Aggie.
Okay, kungonjezera pamene wanenapo.
Yeah.
Kumbaliso yokhuzana kuti ma industry
Yes.
azithandiza so kuti ma student azithandizika.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Experience.
Yeah, kuti azipanga azipeza experience. Ngati kuti momwe mutanenera mukale muchaona kuti azikhala ndi nthawi yonakuna kuti mukhoza kuabweretsana kuti azaphunzire zina ndi zinazi. Komanso ma student iwo azikhala kuti azipiranso out kuti azikapeza kuti tima information tina tokhuzana chimene akupanga chija kuti aziziwa so azikhala ndi knowledge yona kuti chimene ndikupangachi ndizite. Yes.
Interesting. And Shira?
To me, I think ngati mene amapangira kujeni ku secondary school, ukakhala kuti uli secondary school umaphunzira ma subject onse.
Yes.
Kaya ukufuna uzakhale ka doctor course by ma courses ena kuti you have to take mwina maths okha koma ku secondary school amapezeka zoda kuphunzisa zonse.
Yes.
So I feel like ku college kujata khazo kuti they have those kind of things kuti azipanga offer china chilichonse because you don't know utokhala ndi degree ya journalism but then ukapanga chinthu china chake ku outside ukapita kunja so ukapanga bwanji if you don't have anything concerning that. So I feel like they need to offer zinthu zonse.
Okay.
You should fit in.
Sure, I'll try this discussion. Commentariat. Who heard that thought? And maybe Gary.
Yeah, and I still stand on the same point. Yeah, but it should be more practical.
Okay.
Yeah, because college is about that. I mean, when you're applying for, I don't know about for a degree, but I know, like, I've been reading about applying for a master's, kunja. They always tell you what research are you going to do. I don't know if it's the same for my master's or my I haven't tried those. When you're applying for degrees, some is also so even before that, you're already thinking of like how practical it's going to be. Plus, we give some description also. So I feel like it needs to become more and more practical. Like the same examples, engineering, like they can't just be in class and then know how to design whatever engineers design. So they need to learn the basics while they're in school. So what muntu amaliza school kena kuona kale nonga kuti akukuphunzisa so yeah kuti ichikoti mabanga bwanji like muntu amaliza 4 years at Poly and then you go out and then you have to write a story. So you write a story like a short story.
Yeah.
Also as well, there's also a way of the way they write stories in journalism. Yeah. So I feel like it needs to be more practical.
Well, there you have it. That is the discussion today on Peer Chat on the importance of tertiary education. I think the consensus on this panel is that college in your but we would love to hear from you. Do get in touch. Tumizano Tengawano, either on 1895, that is on Times TV, or you can get in touch with either Gary or me. Use our names on Facebook or Twitter, or get in touch with us at Times Peer Chat, that is on Facebook or on Twitter. Remember to follow us and like our page there. Yep. Until next time, you've been with me, Elita Soko, and my colleague
Gary Samati.
And we had two guests today. We had Shira and Agi. Thank you so much, guys, for coming through.
Thank you so much for having us.
Fantastic. And thank you for watching. Until next time.